Yeah. Boom, we are live. Hey there, again for another talk with Sherilyn Dorsey of You're More Than Their Mother and
Jessica A. Walker, just I go by Jaw of the JawResearchInstitute.com.
yes. So we are so excited and thankful that you are joining us for these talks. We have so much fun with them. Again, these are mainly impromptu topics and tips that we have off the dome, but because we use them all the time, it really has become systematic for us and something that's very easy and it's very exciting for us to give and share with other people. So we decided to use this platform and we couldn't be more pleased with it. So if you are ready, we are going to go ahead and get started with our formal introductions. And I will start off per usual.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Sherilyn Dorsey, and I am creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother. And I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams.
All right. And my name is Jessica of the JawResearchInstitute.com. Like I mentioned before, I go by Jaw. I help entrepreneurs with a giver spirit. So any entrepreneur out there, because I've had more guys than gals come up to me, but I'm also a maternal health wellness advocate. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah, love it so much. So this time we are talking about, we are formally calling this the Mom's Millionaire Mindset. And Jessica really had some great insight on this. So I want to defer to her to kind of get us started and I will pick up from there. So please do, Jessica.
Okay, so the millionaire mindset, I think that most millionaires, not to just categorize this as just being moms, but most millionaires, they usually have a couple of different steps and things that they go through that they use every single day within their business to keep them going, right? So we'll touch on a couple of those. I don't have really a very guided out list. Like we said, this is more of an impromptu conversation that we just talk about things that we've come in contact with and things to that effect. So what I will start off with is that you need to have multiple streams of revenue to have the millionaire mindset. You don't look for your income to come from just from one place. You're looking at, so if you're working, let's say, you also have an Etsy store, or you also have side coaching that you do, or you also work and you put together, I don't know, dinners that you sell, something to that effect, where you just have money coming from different angles to keep you going and keep you sustainable. So you're not just focused in on waiting for that one check. So then I'll go with a number 2 as well, and I'll pass this over to Sherilyn. My number 2 piece here is that having a millionaire mindset means that you don't, not to say that you don't think about the cost, but you pay for things that you need assistance with. You pay for services that you may need. You pay for people to help you with problems that you need solved immediately. I just had a conversation with a client, and I guess we will always bring this around to our clients, but I just had a conversation with a client who was kind of giving me some pushback about what I was charging. And, really truthfully, you pay for the quality of things you receive, right? So there's no way you're going to go to the dollar store and find a pair of Jordans, okay? There's no way you're going to go to the dollar store and find a Chanel handbag, right? So if you want something of quality, of something that's going to deliver and give you value and basically a return on your investment, then you have to go to the place and you have to pay for the services and pay for the assistance and the help that you need to get you to that next level. So don't be afraid to pay people what they're worth, and don't be afraid to hire someone in. And to put that in the context of motherhood, don't be afraid to, if you need to order in a pizza, then order in a pizza. If you need to delegate that job out to somebody else to pick up some food, or if you need to have a delivery service deliver you food every day, don't think of it as, oh, I'm not, what was the moms we always talk about, Sherilyn? The TV moms.
Of course we did. We just had one, Kris Kardashian, right?
Claire Huxtable, all the TV moms that have this whole, that have our culture thinking that as mothers we have to make sure that we have dinner on the table by 6 and I'm sorry, but we don't even eat at a table. So just being real. Our family, we congregate usually on the floor by the TV, or around our little nook thing that we have in our kitchen. but we don't really even eat at a traditional table. So really defining what it is for you, that's what keeps you in a millionaire mindset. It really doesn't even have to equate to money all the time. It can just equate to you just being delegating things out. Millionaires do not have, I just heard someone say the other day, and then I'll pass this over to Sherilyn, that one of the guys is he's a millionaire. I can't remember who it is. It's one of the internet famous people. And he said, I hire in, my wife does no laundry. My wife washes not one dish because I want her to be my wife. I want to spend time with her. So I hire a housekeeper that comes every day. Forget a week, every month, every day we have our housekeeper there. Because I don't want her to lift a finger. I want her to be busy being my wife and being a mother to my children. So you have to think about that. How can you delegate to live a mom's millionaire mindset, so you can delegate certain things out so that you can get to your business in a position where you're flourishing and you can pass it on. You know, we always talk about legacy, but passing on your company to your children.
Absolutely. I love that so much. So very, very, very true. And I think that so often moms in particular have such an issue with delegating things because we want to feel like we are in control. We want to feel like we are over everything because for some reason, we just don't feel like it's done correctly unless it is that we do it. We don't know how to kind of let go of things. So I'm so glad you really brought that up first, because I think that is a huge and pressing issue. When I think of a millionaire's mindset, I think of a person who is specifically someone who understands that there is opportunity in everything. I think that works in tandem with what it is that you said about multiple streams of income, because when you see that there's opportunity in everything, then you will understand how you can leverage that and create dollars and cents out of that. So when I talk to people about this, the very first thing I have to do is really massage their mind to make them understand what it is that I'm talking about. And the reason I have to do that is because for some reason we automatically default into thinking, well, I don't want people to think that I'm taking advantage of them. And whereas I get what you're saying with that, what I want you to understand is that when you have a millionaire mindset, you give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You know that you are a person who acts in integrity and you would never do that. So you're not concerned with that. That's not in the forefront of your thoughts. The other side of that, that's to put it bluntly. But here's one way that I try to massage it in with other people. Think about it like this. Do you think that Oprah Winfrey, I think that's someone that most, if not all of us know.
Definitely a millionaire. Definitely a millionaire.
Live on this planet. Oprah Winfrey does not hang out with poor people. Now, does that make Oprah a bad person? Absolutely not. But what it does make you understand, to me, the most basic and elementary thing is, out of understanding that, is that she hangs with people who has some reciprocal benefit to her, right? If she's with someone who is of severely less than her, that's called charity. That's called donation. And you have to be very clear that if philanthropy is a part of what it is that you do, absolutely identify that and be sure that you are moving into whatever relationship or whatever contact or interaction you have with someone with a clear understanding that's what this is about, right? And even in relations, even in philanthropy and giving, guess what? It's still reciprocal, because although that person may not have anything to give to you of monetary value, you feel better in knowing that you're fulfilling what it is you want to do by giving. So you automatically get something back. Everything is reciprocal. There is an opportunity in everything.
Energy given is energy received.
Pardon me?
Energy given is energy received.
Absolutely. So understanding that there is opportunity in everything, and there's no such thing as taking advantage of another person, especially when it relates to something like that. The other thing, when I think about millionaire mindset, the very first thing that pops into my mind is discipline. Discipline is what you must have in order to be a millionaire, period. And discipline to me is just the ability to make yourself do something even when you don't want to do it. That's all that is.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And once before, I think I spoke about me. I'm not a morning person. I just want to get up when I want to get up. And then I want the world to function around the clock it is that I use. Well, in reality, that's just not going to happen. Well, I decided that this year, my 2016, I was taking my business to a new level. So I had to create new habits for myself. So I had to really enforce a discipline on myself of getting up at a certain time, even when the kids are out of school, like now at the time of this video. I get up every day at 8 o'clock and I go ahead and get my day started, from my meditation to my prayer to my whatever it is that happens to be my theme for the day, which you might see up there. I keep up there often. So for me, that is discipline. The other thing for that is, and it really kind of, I'm not sure if this is one and the same, but to me, I know that this act will turn into the first act it is, or the aforementioned, and that is habits. You have to create successful habits. Yeah. You have to create things around things that support what it is that you value. So if you value being a millionaire, you have to create habits that support you becoming a millionaire. Mm-hmm. That would be things like, right? Creating, say, for example, theme days for yourself. The other thing would be creating times to meditate, creating times to write, creating times to create, whatever, creating times to prospect, whatever it is.
Videos.
Absolutely. And we're definitely going to talk about that one too as well, Jessica. That's another one that I have actually written down for us, but that's another topic. You'll have to join us there. But
but you have to, what she's saying, creating content and getting your message in front of the right people. So positioning yourself.
Mm-hmm. So you have to create those habits around. And like I said, to me, that's almost a synonym with discipline. And if it's not the same thing, it certainly works in close tandem with it. And creating habits really creates discipline. So that's the next thing. So before I give my last thought on that, I want to kind of bounce it over to Jessica. Do you want to expand on any of that, or tell me your thoughts?
Look, no. I don't have anything to add. I think she pretty much went to my brain and took it all out and said it. So
yes, that's how we're together, right? That's right, each other. I love it. I love it. Well, then the last thing I want to really kind of springboard off of that Jessica said, and this is really kind of, I guess I'll say this is a parting thought for you, if you will. Jessica mentioned earlier about delegating things out and the importance of that, and how when we don't do that, and I think I touched upon this a little bit as well, when we don't do that, how it's really costing us emotionally, and sometimes how it's even costing us financially, right? I tell people now, I am pretty much a one-man show. I hire out as needed. Of course, I do believe in delegation, but for the most part, I am a one person. I'm sorry, not one man. I am a one woman show. So with that being said, I always tell people I'm the CEO and the janitor. So I have to make sure that I do things that are conducive or in support of my goals. And that is to delegate, like I said, things out. But when I don't, what happens to me is when I get in certain places, because I'm like everybody else, when I get in certain places, or when I feel like my control, or it's really called my ego. When I feel like my ego is taking over and wants to kind of be a control freak, or I feel like it won't be done unless I do it, then I start asking myself, Sherilyn, what is it going to cost you to not do this?
There you go.
Right? To not delegate this out. So I want to pose that question to you. Because if you are not delegating out, and if you are feeling like you should be handing off some things to other people, but for one reason or another, you're not, I want you to think about the fact that, I want you to think about the question, what is it costing me not to do this? Because you are suffering financially from that. Somebody else can probably do it quicker, better. It's their expertise, and it would come out exactly like it is that you want it. And if it doesn't, you can simply send them back to correct it, right? Until it does become what you need. So there are a huge bevy of resources out there, like hiring an intern, like Fiverr. Guess what? For you with older children, like having your children to do it.
I was just going to say that.
They absolutely know more than us, because they grew up with these technologies now, and we're really grandfathering and grandmothering ourselves into them, catching up to where they already are. They're using this in school, et cetera, et cetera. So a millionaire mindset really asks themselves the question, and it really goes through what I really talk about in my book. And that is, they really go through an internal audit of themselves all the time, asking themselves questions, eradicating negative self-chatter, blocking off and putting barriers between them and people who mean them no well, literally and even physically in some cases. That is what a millionaire does. That's what a millionaire, and specifically, that's what a millionaire mom does. Because again, we seem to have this thing about delegating. We seem to have this thing about control. And what I want you to understand is that it's hurting you more than it's helping you. I guess that would be the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
You want to say?
I think the mindset is thinking in yourself that you don't have to have the money in the bank to think like a millionaire. They're believing that you are, like she said, already whole, and that you have a million hearts, right? You have it in your heart. You know, from being a mom, just look, let's just keep it real. Just the experience itself of having a child, you are a millionaire. You have
it lets you know you can do anything. Right? It's such a reminder that you can do anything. My husband told me, and I know we try to keep this to 15 minutes. So I only have about a minute and a half.
That just ain't gonna happen. So we will try our best because we want to respect your time and our own. But we are speakers, so you have to just excuse us if we happen to go over. And we're moms, so.
Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. That's really what I needed to say. But you know what? My husband said something to me, and I'm so grateful to have such a supportive system around me. But he said something to me to the effect of, I was just kind of in this funk, like, man, this is crazy. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I didn't really know what other step to take to get this certain goal accomplished. And I was just kind of in this funk. And my husband said to me, I hope that I'm saying this right if I remember, because it kept me going for another. I always say, that pushed me ahead another 6 months. He said something to the effect of, Shirley, you had my children. You can do anything you want to do.
Wow.
I said, wait a minute, what? It was so empowering for me, number one, because for me, what it showed me was how much he valued me as a person.
And while I recognize, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just want to say this before I forget, because I'll forget, like my brain be. But we as a culture, as a community, as a world, as a whatever you want to call it, we do not understand the value of giving birth to a human being. We really don't. We really don't understand the value of that, and what that does to not only our own lives, but what it does in the world because of this human being being born and being brought into the world. And then acknowledging the mother that did it.
Absolutely. It was, like I said, it was so empowering, and it was empowering for me on multiple levels because, number one, while my value comes from me, it sure feels good to have someone in my home who I lay in my bed next to know that they feel like I can do anything, like they believe in me, they appreciate what it is or who it is that I am. That was fantastic. And that reminded me of how powerful it is that I was, even when I didn't think I was able to, because I don't know about any of you all, but I was scared out of my mind to have my children. Scared, literally. I was like, who is gonna do this? But I made it.
You got this little person that's moving around in you. You're like, I don't even know this person, but I love them to death. How is that possible?
Yeah.
It's very confusing, right?
Absolutely. So just remember that. So in particular, for any moms that are watching this, I hope that statement empowers you as well. Of course, the tips it is that we dropped to you, that what Jessica started off with. And I think some of those, Jessica, can you give me those steps again that you said?
Okay, so what I'm gonna need you moms to do is I'm gonna need you to work with me, and let's collaborate. Okay, we're gonna work together, a team. So go to the bottom of the YouTube video and rewind, because I can't remember what I said.
I remember some of what you said. And you said the first thing you said, I don't know if it was in this order, but you said, number one, a millionaire mindset is about multiple streams of income.
There we go.
Multiple streams of income. And I think what I said to work with that was that those multiple streams of income is that there's opportunity everywhere. So if we have the mindset that we do want multiple streams of income, and that is opportunity everywhere. We will begin to look at things differently, and we'll see the opportunity, whereas before we may have just saw an exchange, right? So the other thing it is, I think that you mentioned with that is talking about delegating. You said to delegate things out, and I think that I agreed 100% with delegating. And I said that I think I mentioned things that sometimes stop us from delegating. Since we pulled it out and we understand and we put a light on the things that stop us, I think that now we understand the importance of delegating. And I think that I kind of brought it in and wrapped it up. Excuse me, by saying that we need to see what is costing us not to delegate. We are basically leaving money on the table and giving money away. Think of it like that, right?
You got to tally it up, because if you start to look, you'll start to find that if you had paid someone, it'd actually be cheaper to have paid someone versus you going out doing it all yourself, you know. And then there's apps and things that can help you utilize the resources that you have. That phone that you have, utilize the resource that you have. There are apps that you can download that will automatically text your family when you're at the grocery store. It will see it's kind of scary, but great tool. It will see geographically where you are every time. If you put that you're going to Safeway or whatever your grocery store is in your area, as soon as you drive up to it, it will see it and it will automatically text out and say, I'm at the grocery store, what do you want? So utilize the resources that you have available to you by utilizing the apps that are available and the resources that we have that we can pull into, so you can delegate, which sometimes doesn't even cost you money. All you have to do is download it, right? So look for
that's it. That's absolutely it. And that actually is the last one that we mentioned. We gave you the resources, some that may be right around you that you don't have. One new one was what she said, the app, Jessica said, which were our apps, our children, Fiverr, interns. We talked about things like that. So of course you can hear all of that in extent if you choose to rewind this. But what we want to do is hear back from you. What is it that you got away from this? What are some of the takeaways? What are some of the shifts it is that perhaps you need to make or have made that have been successful for you? And let's share them with one another and exchange in dialogue.
And what will you implement to live your life as a millionaire mom, to live in the millionaire mom mindset? What will you implement this week that you'll do in your life, in your business, that you will do? Like Sherilyn said, use those kids, girl. You didn't have them kids for no reason. Those kids are there to help you.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. It absolutely does. Teamwork makes the dream work. So yes, I love that. So we appreciate you for joining us.
You pay with ice cream. Who else can you pay with ice cream or cupcakes?
That's hilarious.
It's genius, right? God placed them there for that reason, to do your social media and get paid with cupcakes. Can you believe it?
It's a mess. This one is a mess. I love it. But seriously, we have to get creative around these things. And bottom line, it needs to get done. So if that comes in the form of our children, what a blessing it is that we have right in our homes, right? And we need to utilize it. That goes right back to finding opportunity in every single thing. So we are grateful for that. We are grateful that you are here with us, whether you are tuning in live with us or if you are watching this video on replay. And if you are so inclined, please do share this on all your social media platforms. We would love that. You can get in contact with us by our banners below. You can always reach out to us. And again, any comments that you leave, we love them and we will respond directly to them. We have to get out of here for now, but remember, in the meantime, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought that you could be. Bye.